All right, this is the Ray Lindquist Show. Woohoo! And I'm thrilled that the Village of Falconer, we do this once a year, pause and celebrate somebody who is highly well-known, highly well-respected, and just an overall good guy, and it was unanimous, Ray Lindquist. And just to give you a little bit of what's going to go on here, Ray, reluctantly, is going to come up here, and I'm going to ask him some questions. We're videotaping it here. William has got this covered.
Yeah.
And
who's our
around
mic?
6 o'clock, I would encourage you all to kind of go towards the stand. You're all sitting in the reserve grandstand, so you may not have been given a ticket, but that's where you can sit, because there Ray will throw out the first pitch. The catcher will be a guy named Branston, in case you haven't met him. Good catcher. And hopefully behind the plate, calling balls and strikes, will be a guy named Ben Lindquist. I'm not sure how good he is, but
If he calls a ball, he's no good.
I know. We better bring you up.
And our maestro of ceremonies is obviously Greg Peterson.
Yeah. How's it look, William?
Oh, it looks good. Looks good.
So anyways, that's the order of the day. Hopefully also we can get, I know you've got some Lindquist people here,
Oh, yeah.
so we should maybe get a photo op maybe when.
Okay, as long as you don't ask them to say anything.
I got the stories ahead of time.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not an issue. So anyways, we're going to get started, Ray. And anyways, you're known as Mr. Baseball, Mr. Little League, Mr. a whole lot of things, but was that come natural? Did your mom and dad, did they encourage you to get into sports?
Not really. Dad coached me in Little League. Played 4 years of that. Never really played baseball after that. But I had a passion for it once the kids started playing and started coaching my two boys. I just stuck with it for who knows why. I did.
Well, you were also, if you can hang on to that, you also played yourself. I mean, you played softball, you did things, church league with Levant, is that right?
Yeah, never played I played 1 year of American Legion ball. I was a bench jockey. I rode with a friend who played first base. I got into 1 or 2 games, but I like to ride the opposing team. I was good at that back then. But then when we got married in '74, I started playing fast pitch softball with Levant Wesleyan in the church league, and with Lakewood Rod and Gun in the social league. Church league Tuesday and Friday, Rod and Gun on Monday and Thursday, and then modified softball on Saturday, doubleheaders with Beechwood, I think it was.
How was your wife's sense of humor with all of this?
She said I could continue doing it as long as I did my own uniforms, laundry.
Nice. And so, during that time period, did you feel like that was where you could kind of develop some of your skill sets, just continuing to play? I know some people like myself, after I got done playing hardball, softball was the next order of the day.
I never really developed my skills, didn't have a whole lot of them, and was never really that good. I caught fast pitch, and when everything went to modified, I was one of the older guys on the team. I said, I've got to learn how to pitch, but I'm never really a good hitter. I learned how to, on an inside pitch, leave my leg and arm out kind of where the ball was coming, and get on first base with a hit by pitch a lot. I think I did that more often than got a base hit. And I'm credited with 1 home run in my life. There was an inside of Parker in a church league game out in Olean.
Do you remember the date?
No.
He was going there. I could just see it on December. So you played softball, and then at some point you decided that either the legs or your ability kind of gave up and did something else to keep your time?
The kids came along. And one of the thrills I had was after Ben went to his first umpire school and came back, the 3 of us played softball together for Levant. I pitched, Ben played short, and Nate played first. And that was a joy, playing with them for on and off for a year.
Yeah. Now, Ben tells me, because there is a separate interview of Ben I did, it's on YouTube if in case you're curious, that he's always sort of had this inclination towards being an umpire. How did that develop?
Chuck Youngberg, where's Jim? Jim's older brother, right? Well, umpired Little League games for us on and off when Ben was playing Little League. And when Ben got, well, one instance, Chuck was umpiring for watching a game. Watching a game one time, and Ben was upset. He was pitching with what the umpire was calling. And after the inning, Chuck called him over to the side by the fence and said, hey, if you're upset, step behind pitcher's mound, turn your back to the outfield, take a breath, collect your thoughts, and go back and pitch. Well, probably the next week, Chuck was umpiring one of our ball games. And guess what Ben did? He got the ball back from the catcher, turned around, walked off the back of the mound, turned towards the outfield, took a breath, and got back in, and you could see Chuck just look at me and shake his head. But that's where I think he got interested in it. And after Little League, he umpired a younger group. And in high school, people would ask him as a senior, what are you going to do after high school? I'm going to go to umpire school.
Did you, so was that something you encouraged to do that, or just on his own?
Just on his own. You're going to go to umpire school? Okay. Well, there's a couple $1,000 to pay for that. But he went to Brinkman-Fromming. And at 18 years of age, Joe Brinkman, who he respected, said, I think you're just a little bit too young to go out on the road. You got the ability, but I think you got to grow up a little bit before you go out on the road by yourself. So he came back, and Mom and I said, you got to go to school, JCC, get your degree at least. And he did, went back to umpire school, and that's when he got into it.
And he did get into it. Can you give us a little bit of his career?
He was, after the Brinkman-Fromming, he was home working Babe Ruth baseball and youth baseball, opening at Bob Evans restaurant every morning. And he got a call on a Thursday night. They wanted him in Cape Cod for the Cape Cod Summer League. I had to be there Sunday, I think it was, for a meeting. So he got it right as he was walking out the door to the Babe Ruth game. He said, let me call you back when I get back. He called him back, got the details, went in the next morning, opened up, or called somebody in to take his place, got everything ready at Bob Evans, came home, back then, went to AAA, got a triptych to Boston. He had a friend that graduated, or what he went to school with, that lived up in that area, so he called her and said, hey, can I stay overnight with you Saturday night? And he packed everything on Friday and headed out Saturday morning to Boston, and was in the Cape Cod Summer League for that year.
And as a result, did he call you periodically to say, you know, Dad, with questions or comments or anything, or he just sort of went on his own?
I don't remember anything as far as calling and asking me. He'd been to school. I learned some things from him for umpiring. I've been doing umpiring for 33 years because I had to take him to class and go pick him up afterwards. I said, I might as well just sit there and listen. Maybe I'll umpire a game or two. 33 years later, I'm still doing it. One thing I remember, he was up in that league, and our neighbor across the road, most of you probably know Bill Kilmartin. Well, they had a summer home or a home up in Cape Cod, and he was going to a baseball game, and just like we do in high school, you change, you get ready for the game out of the trunk of your car in most of these fields. And he parked and was walking towards the field, and there's Ben changing. And Billy says, Ben, what are you doing here? And he introduced him to his two partners there from the Boston area, and they just said, no, that's not right. He can't be your next door neighbor. Oh, yeah.
Small world.
Yes.
Now, I've just heard the story that you attended, listened to school that Ben was at. Usually it's just the opposite, where you would be at a school and the kid shows up and he's listening and grabbing information. It's sort of a role reversal, wasn't it?
Well, I learned a lot from Ben. I never went to a school of any sort. I went to Little League a couple times, Little League training. That was fun. I get to sleep in the bunk that the little kids sleep in during the World Series. But I was the oldest of our group that went down. I said, it's my bunk on the bottom, closest to the bathroom.
So, talk a little bit about your kind of getting involved in really the public side of this, or you've donated so much of your time and effort towards Little League, managing, coordinating umpires, coordinating schedules. Whenever we talk about who's the guy to talk to, you're the go-to guy. How did you get in that aspect of it?
Bad luck. When Ben was 7, turning 8, he was playing minor league baseball in Falconer. I wasn't officially part of the league, but I go to his games, and the youth were umpiring back then, and if nobody showed up, I would umpire a ball game. And a little story he doesn't like me to tell, but he's not here right now, so I can tell it.
He'll never listen.
He grew up watching me play softball. In fact, well, how old was he? 3 weeks when he went to his first ball game? About 3 weeks. And the kid's umpiring, he'd come back either with a strikeout basically because the pitch was here or outside. He'd come back. That was over my head. How could he call strike 3? Well, the last game of the year we were playing out in Kennedy, and I had to umpire. He come up to bat late in the game, and I said, Ben, the first 3 pitches, no matter where they are strikes. You better swing at it. The first pitch bounced. He hit it in the center field for his only hit of the year. And then he got drafted the next year by Bill Davenport, good Falconer man, and Randy Shennefield. And they took me on as a third coach. Both their boys were 12 that year, so fell into my hands the next year, that team. And I stayed with him for 4 years, coached it 1 year without either of my boys. Bruce Johnson, who just came in somewhere, was a coach with me. And he and Jim Youngberg, Jason's dad, kind of coached with me at that time. And I was there on and off, watching him play 13-year-old prep league, Ben. The following year, my youngest son, Nate, got on the team. So I spent 9 years with a village pharmacy team. And after that, I coached some Babe Ruth with Jim Roboto. And just stayed in Faulkner that, hey, I've always, I've ran the program as president for 30-some years and thought that I'm doing a good job. Nobody else can do this. But nobody else wants to do this. It's really what it is. And my philosophy, I've coached some church league teams, played on some where guys are playing that don't know baseball, don't know when to run, when to tag up, so on and so forth. And my philosophy through Little League is if we can teach the kids the fundamentals of the game so they can go out and play slow pitch softball, whatever they want to do, they know what they're doing, that we've accomplished a good thing. Some kids will go on to high school ball, some might go on to college ball, some are fortunate that work hard, like my grandson who's going to University of Toledo on a scholarship. And but I've just stayed with it. I've been president, I've been coach, player agent, field maintenance, equipment manager, anything you want to call. This young lady over here, Teresa Youngberg, we had to go to an online sign-up registration this year. My computer skills are garbage. Teresa did everything for us, and very grateful for her. I hope she stays with me as long as I stay with her. I'm not sure if I can count on that, but...
You can ask her now.
Well,
You got her, she's blushing, you got her blushing.
yeah, we'll see. At least one more year, she says.
So you got Branston Lindquist being a catcher extraordinaire this year. So when you heard that he was going to play with the Jamestown Tarpscocks, what was your reaction?
It was joy. He has wanted, since he thought he was good enough, to play for the hometown Tarpscocks. And it was last August that he got invited to join the team by the new manager, Frank Chigoda. And he comes home from a meeting with you with some baseball cards. And he had to sign probably a couple dozen for me at Christmas time and others. that we've been passing out here and there to different people. So I gave one, I can't remember who, I think it was Jim, I gave one to Jim. He says he's putting it away because it's going to be worth something someday.
It's definitely his rookie card.
Yeah.
No question about that. So you've seen him the last few games, especially because there's been an injury to our number one catcher. How's he doing?
He's doing good. I think he's batting about 333. His OPI, is that what it's called? Oh, what's it called, Jim?
OPS.
OPS. On base plus slugging is 900 and something, which I don't know if it leads the team, but it's right up there. He has my ability of getting a base on balls or getting hit by the pitch, which helps that. And to me, his defensive skills are very, very good.
Do you, at the end, just out of curiosity, at the end of the game, does he ask to be critiqued? He's got a shy dad in Ben. You laugh.
I take it that's the opposite.
Yeah, but does he ask to be critiqued?
Not to me.
Okay.
Not to me. Maybe Ben and him talk about it, but I stay out of it. About the only time I really talked with him about baseball performance is when Ben and I were coaching him in Little League and Branson was pitching, and it was not good for Ben to go out and talk to Branson on the mound. So Ben would fill me in with what he wanted said, and I'd go out and pretend it was me saying it to him. And that was about my instructions to him.
So, when you think about this, I mean, you got a lot of Lindquists here, and we got 3 generations of Lindquists, soon to be all on the mound at one place, one time, one pitch. What do you think of that sort of Lindquist legacy? This is quite remarkable. When you started, and here it's now in the 3rd generation.
It's been nice. I mean, when Ben was playing Little League ball, there are 2 differences between my 2 boys. I'd come home from work, and I worked a job and a half at that time. And as soon as I got home, Ben would say, "Can we go to the field?" He'd want to go down and pitch and hit and field grounders before, can we go down there before supper? Okay. My youngest one, Nate, he was not that dedicated to a game. He loved playing, practicing, he'd put up with it. I don't think he ever really wanted to do anything extra, but I think he's the only graduate of Falconer that I know of that lettered in 5 varsity sports as a senior.
That's remarkable. For those that don't know, I'm reading your resume here. Civic volunteer work. Involved with Falconer Little League for 40 years and counting. Equipment manager.
41 this year.
41 and counting. Equipment manager, field maintenance for over 40 years. Falconer Little League president for over 30 years. Head coach, 8 years. Assistant coach, 9 years. East Lake Babe Ruth League coach for 7 years. Treasurer, 4 years. Board member of the One Ball Foundation for Testicular Cancer, who is sponsoring tonight, by the way, and thanks to Ben. He'll be here shortly. And just, it goes on and on and on. And also your active involvement in the umpire assignment of the Senior Little League, local Little League All-Stars, local travel baseball team, and Jamestown area old timers. What are you doing here tonight? You got spare night off? What's going on?
Well, there's a championship 10 and 12-year-old game going on in Frewsburg that people expected me to be at. I got something more important to do.
Free hot dog.
Yeah, free hot dog. Italian sausage. But the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks has been booked. We have roughly 6 or 7 games a night in the South County between Little League All-Stars, travel baseball, Senior Little League, which is age 13 to 16. And for 5 or 6 or 7 games, you need 10, 12, 14 umpires. We don't have that many. And if any of you out there are interested in umpiring, see me. We can use you. You don't have to be young. I'm not. Okay? But it's, with the rain outs, it gets to be a hassle. It's a couple hours each night, working things around. I have a good supply of umpires in this area that do it for the kids. And I was blessed about 3 weeks ago. I got a text from a gentleman by the name of John Delancey. He texted me, said, "I just moved from Pittsburgh about 1.5 years ago up to Sugar Grove. I want to get back and do a little bit of umpiring." I said, you got any experience? Well, I was a pastor in Minnesota for 9 years, a pastor in Pittsburgh for 17 years. While I was in Pittsburgh, I umpired high school and college baseball. When can you start? And he's been working 3 or 4 games a week for me.
He could have stopped right after being announcing that he was a minister. That's good enough. We got something special here. You know, Steve Garvey, photographer extraordinaire. He's got a special presentation. Steve?
And Steve has done pictures for our Little League for I don't know how many decades. And I truly appreciate him because he does a fantastic job with the kids.
I just wanted to say thank you to Ray. 27 years ago, he got a hold of me and he goes, "We need you to do team pictures for us."
That long?
Yeah. Wow. So my daughter was just graduating from high school. I was pretty much broke at the time, and I asked Ray, "You think I could get half a deposit?" Well, he said, "Heck yeah." Well, I was able to provide my daughter a graduation gift for party, and I've been doing the Falconer Little League for 27 years now. So I go to a game and shoot the team pictures. I do the individuals. I'm getting ready to leave. The 2 coaches come up to me, "Mr. Garvey, the ref's not here. Do you think you could ump the game?" "Ump the game? I'm the photographer." So I said, "Heck yeah, I can ump the game." So I called the 2 coaches over and I said, "Listen, I don't know all the rules, but by God, I can call them in and out and help me out here if there's a problem." So I did that. Well, it wasn't long after that, I was at a softball game. "Mr. Garvey, the ump didn't show up. Can you do the softball?" "Yeah, I can do the softball game." So I did it. So that's the extent of my umpiring career, but.
He's going to take my class this fall.
So anyways, I was shooting a game over to Frewsburg and I wanted to present Ray with this gift of him in action.
Show the picture there. There we go. Here.
Ray's probably seen this before, but I wanted to make him a frame. I would have got him in a frame, but I figured that's a personal thing. Let him get the frame. I'll let my wife get it.
Now he's waiting for the other half. Remember, he only got half the deposit.
But it ended up being, I'm still doing it 27 years in, and it's been one of my mainstays for the local community. Steve Garvey, Team Sports. So thank you, Ray.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, and what a way to end, and to thank you, Ray Lindquist, and to thank you, Steve Garvey, because you're not done yet. What we're going to do is have anybody who is a Lindquist, wants to be a Lindquist, anyway, and we're going to kind of go over there, and Steve's going to take a family picture. And then we're going to go from there to the ballpark, or to the actual seats. Remember, your reserve grandstand, and if you want, by the way, there's some more food if you want, but don't want to miss this. So if you could go over that, wherever Steve wants us, because it's Steve's photography. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I think we're over here. But I just thought that was a perfect way. Thank you.